Why does the Himba tribe not fit into the realities of the peoples groups and societies of tropical Africa? Since a specific century, the selection of a spouse has been based on a principle that is more characteristic of commonly referred to as developed countries. This conscious selection has led many today to believe that the Himba have overdone it the most, and now almost every woman in the tribe is a beauty queen. With the permission of the Namibian authorities, tourists can visit Himba villages and see for themselves various details of their lifestyle. Welcome to Flip Side of History. Today we will tell you about very unique, from modern perspective, Himba tribe. Let us continue this episode. Criteria of beauty in different tribal societies. Some regions on the planet where the development of society has remained the same for thousands of years allow us to notice the greatest set of authenticities. Globalization did not affect specific peoples and tribes for various reasons. This means that the very concept of female beauty, as well as beauty in general, has remained different for each of these ethnic associations. In some places, a large pelvis serves as an ideal of beauty. In other places, large breasts. And in another place, things such as long legs is considered something truly beautiful. And often women were, and in a lot of places are, generally completed, for instance by cutting something like a tiny bowl into their lower lip or pulling back the ears with some very significant weight. The reasons for the emergence of certain standards lie in the following. First, in the improvement of the reproductive functions of the female composition, namely pelvic size. Second, similarity to the totem animal of this tribal society, large legs, arms, chest, head, protruding back, and modifications to help these areas look bigger. Third, endurance, or muscles. And fourth, elementary survival and the ability to carry a child, the amount of fat reserve. But a lot of tribes have already begun to adopt aesthetics as well. The Himba people live in one of the driest corners of Africa, in Kunene, northern Namibia, and the very south of Angola. The thing is that no matter how beautiful some Wolof people, Berbers or Ethiopians are in terms of refinement of features and antique proportions, but the girls from Himba, even to many aesthetes who have explored the entire world, still seem to be the most beautiful and unique of all on the continent. Even more so, it seems to many not only here. Although the Himba men themselves are sure that their women are more beautiful than any other women in the world. Why is that? It appears that for many centuries there has already been a selection of a wife in terms of aesthetics. Let's add that the one which is even closer to Europe. Then in terms of the functionality of a woman, which is dominant criteria in tribal societies. What are these women like? Women who come from this tribe. Firstly, extraordinary smooth skin of brick color. The pelvis is neither too thin nor too thick. Slender legs, perfect waist in terms of size, incredible firmness throughout the entire body, maddening posture and enchanting manner of holding oneself. Very delicate almond-shaped eyes. The eyes are usually huge, with retinas of different shades. There are also green-eyed representatives of the Himba, consisting of just around 50,000 people scattered throughout the humongous dried area of one of the most sparsely populated country, Namibia. Obviously, not everyone here is like that, but the percentage of aforementioned people is the highest compared to all other African regions. Customs associated with the fair gender. The girls of this mini-ethnic group are not just women, they mean more to the tribe. Well, what is this specifically? Well, first, Himba girls and women love to wear something that most closely resembles our miniskirt. Second, use the whole set of products or accessories that specifically emphasize their waist. Third, the woman creates all her jewelry herself, thereby emphasizing her outstanding skills. Fourth, now a little bit about the hairstyle. Each age has its own number and arrangement of braids. Girls can have only 2 of them, early teenagers have several, and those beauties who are already of quite reproductive age have so many that they possibly can cover their faces if they want. Fifth, the young ladies of this nation always cover their dreadlocks with red clay. Sixth, the more braids on the head and jewelry all over the body, the greater the age, and apart from that, the higher the status. Seventh, since there is not enough water in the arid small or not so much homeland of the Himba for hygienic procedures, locals use purification by smoke baths. The girls stand over the fragrant steam, limiting the space of the dry sauna with a blanket. Based on theirs and tourists' opinion, the smell is just staggering. Ladies scrape off all the accumulated dirt from each other with special stacks. 8th, not only that, but the women of Kunene in southern Angola cover their entire bodies with a cream made from volcanic ochre, milk fat, and the carefully extracted fragrant resin. Firstly, it gives the initially dark olive skin a more attractive shade of terracotta, red brick. Secondly, it's even more pleasant than perfume. And thirdly, it protects the skin from the scorching sun and insects, as well as sharp branches or thorns. Himba's religion. Among other things, read below, the Himba woman is obliged to maintain the sacred fire of the ancestors, a kuruwo, and to accommodate the guests of the village. In this regard, women are more sociable than men. Ladies in the area of Himba settlements play a crucial role in the spiritual life of the entire tribe. While men show off their clothes from stores to each other, beauties are more actively involved in rituals and ceremonies related to the traditional customs of the tribe. That being said, women are the ones who preserve its authenticity, the heritage of its ancestors. It's the women's spiritual councils and their complicity that unites the entire Himba community. Let's also add that the Himba who do not go to work in large cities, that is, mostly women, are being noted for their religiousness. Mukuru is the name of the Himba god. He is always busy away from them. Only when one dies can the Himba person see Mukuru. All the dead, the ancestors, are ambassadors to Mukuru. A kuruwo is exactly what the ancestors passed on from the god. In most cases, dwellings are located around that ancient fire. Closer to the center of the nest, there is also a pen for livestock, both small and large. In general, this fire is a kind of symbol of ongoing guardianship. Status of women. The exact origins of the tribe are still unknown. There is a well-established version that these people migrated to the north of Namibia from the east in the 16th century. The land became dry, meaning the mountainous semi-deserts left the sandy desert 120 years ago. The widespread evil of the German colonists who wiped out some ethnic groups from the face of the earth in the region of what is now Namibia, and if the second atrocious aspect is no longer there, the first still remained. The lifestyle of the Himba is pretty unpretentious. There is no furniture. All cozy atmosphere in their houses is created by women's hands. The local ladies are assigned the task of repairing dwellings which are built from thin, flexible mopani trunks and shrub branches. And on top of it, they are smeared with a mixture of clay and droppings for it to hold warmth. In addition to the life and upbringing of children, women have to work a lot in other areas of the economy, grazing cattle or even building the local dwellings all by themselves. And thus, sadly, the average lifespan of Himba women is on average 10 years less than that of local gentlemen. The polygamous Himba society is unprejudiced in all respects. A man can have several wives, and on the other hand, a woman can have several husbands. An extreme rarity in this world, no matter the culture or any kind of society. Never heard of it? Now you did. As you by now have understood, women carry all the household, including construction of buildings, upbringing, and taking care of livestock. The husband and wife are obliged to come from neighboring villages. It is an ordinary thing to give birth to many children here, but occasionally diseases take away a certain part of the newest generation of the tribe. But what about their men? In addition to raising children and providing their half of education, obtaining food and minerals for the above-mentioned ointment, and carry out garrison service, the security of the village is always particularly strength-intensive. We will tell you about the main reason for the raids of strangers in the following chapter. But most of the men apply for average kinds of works in Nigerian and not just Nigerian cities, such as Lagos or Abidjan, or other huge conglomerates in West Africa, and Himba men often drink there. The belief that the women of the tribe possibly can be kidnapped. First off, Himba men hide their women. They have good reason to do so. There are less women, their lifespan is shorter, and they are valuable because of not only beauty but also because of a range of skills. Western fashion magazines' journalists come way too often here with their photo and video cameras. Many people still believe that an image of a person is a stolen soul. And this is, by the way, how it works in animism. But at times it's not about animism at all. Women can go to the center, for instance to Windhoek, capital of Namibia. As for the neighboring tribes and even human traffickers, they steal the very uniqueness of the woman, having learned through the same Western gloss that the Himba, as it turns out, is a beauty queen. And not only according to Himba men, but Western standards and media. The vanity of the leaders or the commercial spirit, it does not matter. What matters is that women began to rapidly disappear from here. That's the issue. And newcomers are also attracted by the cosmic hairstyles of local women and their unusual fashion, which in most cases far exceeds that of the nearest neighbors. The last motive, for some of the kidnappers it is the first, is the incredible capacity of the women of the tribe, their versatility and skill set, and apart from this, the ability to live inside the harem and coexist with other women. And for many of the kidnappers, it's a living dream. In some places, as in South Asia, southernmost Europe, Western Asia and Transcaucasia, the aesthetics of the appearance of the ideal successor of the family was associated with the biggest possible pelvis for thousands of years. It was this aspect that gave the best chance of preserving both the child and the woman in labor during childbirth. Elsewhere, windmills can take over, embodying what is most beautiful in nature. Within the African continent, the scattered states' local authorities are much more often than anywhere else at the forefront of everything. And somewhere else, in another distant part of Earth, the possibility of running fast from enemies or predators is valued. And only the small percentage of the tribal societies, including the Himba tribe, have the criterion of selection, slenderness, and refined facial features. We do not take into account the thickness of the lips. Their superficial enlargement is now in fashion among people of any race or ethnic group. The ideal, according to the principle of everything in moderation, is more characteristic of those peoples whose attitude towards women has long ceased to resemble the attitude towards women as purely an instrument of reproduction and joy for men. Consequently, in this regard, the Himba people most resemble the tastes of the countries of incredibly developed civilizations, whether Indian, Chinese, or Western European civilizations. A woman is not only an equal in all respects member of their society. Well, she's something more, the keeper of the very authenticity and core values of the Himba. Well, thank you for watching. We hope you liked this episode. In case you did, leave a like and subscribe to get notified when new episodes will come out on our channel. And for now, see you later.